I used to think summer was safe. Bonfires, camping, late-night drives. Nothing ever felt dangerous. Until last year. What started as the best summer of my life turned into something I still can't explain. And I know I'm not the only one, that these are 3 terrifying true stories that happened during summer break. And if they don't scare you, they'll at least make you double-check your tent zipper. Story 1. The woods behind my uncle's house. This happened to me when I was 16, during a week-long trip to my uncle's cabin in northern Michigan. The place was isolated, thick trees, no neighbors for miles, and the kind of silence that makes your ears ring. One night, I couldn't sleep. The cabin had no AC, so I stepped outside around 2 a.m. to cool off. I was sitting on the porch steps, scrolling my phone, when I heard something moving in the woods. Not like an animal. It was too heavy, and the steps were deliberate. I whispered, "Hello?" thinking maybe my cousin was trying to mess with me. Nothing. Then, from the tree line, I heard my name. Not shouted, whispered, like someone trying not to wake the house. "Eli." I froze. It wasn't my cousin's voice. It wasn't anyone I recognized. And what scared me most was that it wasn't questioning. It knew my name, like it was calling out for a dog. I bolted inside, locked the door, and didn't sleep the rest of the night. In the morning, I checked the tree line. Fresh footprints, barefoot, leading toward the cabin, then disappearing. We left 2 days early. Story 2. The bonfire guest. 3 years ago, my friends and I threw a summer bonfire in the woods behind my buddy's house. It was just 6 of us, drinks, music, and that sense of invincibility that comes with being 20 and dumb. Around midnight, this guy showed up. We didn't know him. He looked older, maybe late 30s, and we assumed he was one of Dan's co-workers or a neighbor. He didn't talk much, just stood near the edge of the firelight, drinking a beer he hadn't brought. After a while, I nudged Dan and whispered, "Who's that guy?" Dan frowned. "I thought he was with you." We turned back. He was gone. Just like that. We spread out with flashlights thinking maybe he wandered off drunk. But we never found him. What we did find, maybe 50 feet into the woods, was an old, rotted camp chair facing our bonfire site. The ground around it was trampled like someone had been pacing. No one said a word. We packed up and left in dead silence. The next morning, we went back to clean up. That chair? Got. Story 3. The man in the motel mirror. Last summer, I went on a solo road trip across the Midwest. One night, I checked into this cheap, sketchy motel off a rural highway. The room smelled weird, like mildew and old cigarettes, but I was too tired to care. At around 3:30 a.m., I woke up to a tapping sound. I sat up, thinking it was the AC unit, but it was coming from the bathroom. I flipped on the light. Nothing. But when I looked in the mirror, I nearly passed out. In the reflection, there was a man standing behind me. I spun around. No one. I looked again, gone. I checked the room top to bottom. The door was locked. No one was in the bathroom. I even checked behind the shower curtain. Eventually, I convinced myself I was dreaming and went back to bed. But before I fell asleep, I turned the mirror to face the wall. When I woke up the next morning, the mirror was back in place. I left and never looked back. Summer is supposed to be the season of freedom, friends, and late nights under the stars. But sometimes, it's not the heat you need to worry about. If you've ever experienced something terrifying during summer, I want to hear your story. Drop it in the comments. And remember, if you hear someone whisper your name from the dark, don't answer. Subscribe for more true horror stories every week. Stay safe and stay aware.